What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod back with another video, and today I'm going to hit up a bunch of different Ross locations to see what we can find to sell on eBay and on Poshmark. And as you guys know, I have a ton of different Ross locations in my area, so I might hit up maybe 4 or 5, and I might even have to split this video because it might be a little too long. But without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so we are hitting up the first location here, and as soon as I come to Ross, I don't even usually check the clothes that often. I usually just go straight to the shoes. And here's a pair of Vans with some stars and stripes on here. These were really dope. Did have some minor stains on here, but sometimes I do pick up Vans, especially if the price is right, because they usually do sell pretty quickly. But those particular Vans, I didn't want to take a chance on those. Here's a pair of Nike React 270s, and I've been seeing these everywhere, only in small sizes though, only in sizes like 6.5 and like 7. So if you guys find those, there's tons of those online right now, so not a lot of value to me, not a lot of money to be made, but I just wanted to show it to you guys anyway. I think I'm gonna just try to show you guys some more footage of me just trying to just show you the type of shoes that I gravitate towards. Like for instance, this pair of Metcons. This was in a nice vault colorway, and I did say I don't pick up Metcons anymore. However, if I can find them for a good price, like say $20 or less, I'll definitely pick them up. But for $50, those are a little too much money for me. But that colorway was pretty dope. I probably should have done some research on those to see if it does sell, especially since that vault colorway is pretty popular right now. But I passed on those. Here's a pair of Adidas Continental, super underrated shoe. I actually picked up a bunch of these from the Adidas outlet for like $16 a piece, brand new in box. Not this particular colorway, but these were about 25 bucks in here, and they did have some stains, so I passed on those. But like I said, if you can get them for a better price, pick them up. Here was another pair of those Reacts in a 6.5. Like I said, I'm finding these at every Ross location. I've been to like 6 in the last 3 days, and I've been seeing them everywhere. Here was a dope pair of Adidas. I believe these are called the Marquee Boost. These are really dope. I've never seen this particular colorway before, so this made me want to just do some more research on these. They were 37. After checking the comps, I seen some were selling for like 60, so not enough money on there for me, but still a dope shoe nonetheless. Now this one was another pair of Reacts, but this one was in the black and gray colorway, and this one is really dope. If I can find one in my size, I'll definitely pick these up for the personal. Size 8.5, not a bad size at all, but the problem with those is the fact that they're only selling for like 70 to 80 bucks online, so not a lot of profit to be made. And they were in all of the outlets as well, so people are selling them brand new in box for that price. So me selling it without the original box isn't going to do me any good. Now this was a really dope find. Here was a pair of Nike Air 270s, Air Max 270s to be exact. Fly knits, really dope. This was actually my size as well, so it made me want to take a chance on it for the personal. But at the end of the day, I checked the comps. These were selling anywhere between 100 to 120, so I gotta grab those up. Here was a pair of Adidas BYWs, and to me, another very underrated shoe. I actually had this shoe in the personal collection for a while. It wasn't the most comfortable shoe, but I guess that's why it's always in the outlets and it's always in places like Ross, because they're not the most comfortable shoe and they're just not as popular. So if you guys come across those, unless you get a better colorway, I would suggest passing on it. I just want to show you guys that a lot of those cheap cleats that I showed you a couple weeks ago, they are still in Ross. So if you guys are into the cheaper cleats in a large size, you can still pick those up for anywhere between 99 cents and like 7 or 8 bucks. So you can definitely still take a chance on them. I know for me, I don't necessarily want a ton of these, but there are some that I picked up. This one, for instance, I had to think about it. I seen these listed for like 30 bucks with free shipping, so I didn't want to take a chance on that one, because with free shipping I wouldn't make any profit, so I just put those back. Now this is my first time finding this particular colorway, and this one was really dope. If this was my size, you guys, you already know I would have definitely picked these up. This is my style all day long. But the problem with these is that, once again, I checked the comps on eBay. They were selling for about 70, sometimes 80 bucks, and they were, I believe, 69 in that store. So no money to be made on that pair, but still a very dope colorway. Now, drop a comment if you guys would have picked these up. This was in the kids section. I believe this was a size 6Y. It did have some minor stains, so I could have easily cleaned these up. But after checking the comps, I seen some other Air Max Plus colorways sell for like $100, but that particular colorway was only selling for like 70 or less. But drop a comment if you guys would have picked those up. Now this is this next location. Of course, went straight back to the shoes. Grabbed up a pair of Hyper Dunk lows in a really large size. Here was a pair of baseball cleats, and these were also on clearance for only $12. But I believe I showed this to you guys a couple weeks ago as well, so they're still sitting, so they might drop the price on those even further. Now this was another pair of 270 Reacts in a really nice colorway. Only problem with these is that they look like they were kicked around the store for like a day. Like, I don't know what it is. Somebody just kept kicking these shoes, and now they are really dirty. So they'll probably eventually put those shoes on clearance, and if they do, I'll probably come back and I'll clean them up myself, and then I'll flip them. But until they actually do reduce the price, they're gonna have to sit. Now this isn't something I usually gravitate towards. I didn't even realize that these were Pumas, but boy, Puma is coming up these days. Puma is putting out a lot of dope stuff. $29 for the personal collection. This would definitely go down. The resale value just isn't there though. Now this was definitely a very interesting shoe, because nowadays I'm starting to come across Vapormax and 270s all the time. This was a size 15, and I seen one sell on eBay for $100, but the size 15 is just a tough sell. Like, I know this would sit for a very long time. Who knows how long the other one was actually sitting for until that one sold. So maybe if this one goes on clearance, I might grab those up eventually, but for right now, dropping that amount of money on those shoes that I know they'll sit for a while, I just didn't want to take that chance. Now here was a pair of Adidas. I believe these were called the Crazy BYWs, kind of like a mashup. I came across the silver pair in these in Burlington, and I passed on them, and I actually regret that, because those are actually selling pretty well, close to $100 online. The black pair isn't doing as well, so I passed on those. Now here was a pair of Huaraches, and these, I believe, the Huarache Drifts, or maybe Huarache Edge. No resale value on these. They're just asking too much money on these. That's the bottom line. If you guys can find them for a cheaper price, definitely grab them up, but definitely not. Same thing with these shoes. I actually sold a few pairs of the Marathon Tech Boost for about 60 to 70 bucks on eBay. I actually got two of these from a different Ross location, and they were on clearance for $10. Now if I can find them for that price again, I'll definitely pick them up, because they do sell for, like I said, 60 to 70, but they're asking $40 here, so that's a little too much money for me. So if I come across them on clearance, I'll take a chance, but for $40, it's just a little too much money, but still a dope shoe nonetheless. Now here we have a pair of Huaraches, and I actually got excited about these because these are just a really dope colorway for me, and if they were my size, I easily would have scooped these up. But I was even thinking to flip these, but the one thing that stood out to me, and drop a comment if you guys seen it immediately, just the back of this is two different colors. The straps, one is like a tan and the other one is like a cream. I don't know if that's a B grade. I don't know if the shoes were supposed to be like that. I have no clue. I didn't even do any research on these, but once I seen the discoloration on the back, I just put them back, because there was no need for me to even try to do anything with those. All right, y'all, so I was about to head out, and then I came across some Air Max 95s, but these were for grade school. This was like a size 4.5, or maybe it was a size 6. I can't remember. I didn't see any actual sales in this one, so I didn't take these shoes up, but I'm gonna keep trying to check the kids section more often, as well as the women's section, because as soon as I put those shoes down, I'll hit up the women's section really quickly. And I wasn't expecting to find anything, but I remembered as soon as I saw these Vapormax, I remembered that this was the same Ross that I found those white and pink ones for the same price. So this was really dope. They did have a minor stain on the front of them, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to clean those up, but I'll still take a chance on these. At the end of the day, these should still sell pretty well, even if it does have that little minor stain on there. And then this is when things actually started to get really interesting, because I came across another pair of these Vapormax. Another one. And I believe these were a size 8, and this one didn't have any stains or any flaws on this particular pair. So far we got two, and then I kept moving around trying to check the women's section a little more, and then I came across a third pair. Another one. So you guys already know this was definitely a very successful trip to Ross, because I never used to find any Vapormax, and today I finally found 3. Alright y'all, so we are back in the crib, and first off I picked up this pair of Air Max 270s, and this was in a red and black colorway, and I checked the comps on these. These were selling anywhere between 110 and 130, so I'm gonna price mine somewhere in the middle, maybe for about 120, and that should easily sell hopefully soon, because this was in a really good size 11. It is my size, but I definitely just want to try to get that cash instead of keeping these for the personal collection, so hopefully these do sell fast. And last but not least, we got the 3 pairs of Vapormax for women, and I got a size 6.5, a 7, and a 8. And as you guys seen in the video, there was a small stain on this shoe, and I didn't even try to get that stain out yet. Hopefully I can, but if not, I'll just list it as new with defects, just so that the buyer knows exactly what they're getting. But since I do have 3 decent sizes, these should still sell pretty decent, and if I can't get that stain out, I'll probably lower the price, maybe 10 or 15 bucks, just to entice some buyers to pick them up. But overall, the stain really isn't that bad. But just a quick tip for you guys as well, especially for those of you that actually stuck around and watched the video. One good tip is that anytime I come across any shoes with a stain, sometimes the employees at Ross, they'll give me a 10% discount, but with that 10% discount, it's usually final sale, so you can't return the shoes even after the 30 days or before the 30 days. It's just a final sale. So for me, I was able to save $6 on these with the stain, and if I can get it out, that's a plus. If not, it is what it is. But that's just a quick tip for you guys. So hopefully if you guys come across some shoes at Ross, hopefully you don't have to deal with any stains, but if you do and you want to take a chance on it, just ask them to just take off 10% for you. Alright y'all, that's all I got for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Move just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this shit.